This week, the Motorhead gang learns the best way to prep for paint, how to improve four-wheel drive looks and performance, the smooth way to shift with style, and the keys to better batteries. Next on Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting.
Welcome to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. You know, cars like this 1967 Camaro RS have kind of a magical effect on people because of their great paint jobs. But there is no real magic in a great paint job. It's about surface preparation and getting everything right before you start the job. And a guy who knows a lot about surface preparation is Zach from Dustless Blasting. And Zach, you know, the reality is there's a lot of work that's done before any paint touches a car or before any paint touches any surface.
Absolutely. You know, so there's this beautiful thing of creating a brand new canvas for people to work with. And that's exactly what our tools do, is they are able to take everything that's old, from the paint, rust, body filler, you name it, and they're able to give that person a brand new canvas to work with so they can do any body work, anything they need to do, and bring it back to this beautiful paint.
And in terms of creating a canvas, you guys also really, in business terms, do that as well. You know, when people get involved with Dustless Blasting, when they purchase a unit, no matter what its size, there's a big support net that comes with that. And really, I think that's part of the genius of what you guys do. You bring people into this almost like a family atmosphere and provide them the tools they need to succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, so we're a really big believer in helping people succeed. And so, you know, for a lot of our customers, when they want to start a mobile paint stripping and cleaning business, they have a great idea, they see the need, they've maybe sanded a car or a boat bottom or tried to remove graffiti or whatever it is, you name it. They understand the need for it, but they don't really know what to do next. They're not quite sure how to market themselves. They don't know how to operate the tool, you know, and so we're able to offer a very extensive, you know, path for guys to take where, you know, you can log onto our website, you know, fill out your form,
sure,
and we're going to be able to provide you marketing material, turnkey, you know, so a lot of guys, you know, hey, I get how the tool works,
right,
I just don't know how to go out and market it, you know, and so we're able to give you trifold brochures, business cards, a website, you know, it's a complete package.
Well, and even on that end too, you know, when you're operating a small business, you have things that you are consuming on a day-to-day basis, whether it's the actual media that you're using through the blasting unit, or it's stuff like invoicing sheets or estimating paperwork. That's all stuff you guys are involved with as well.
Yeah, so that would be part of the marketing packages that we're able to include for guys. And so, you know, with that, you know, the next thing is, you know, now I know how to market it, sure, how am I going to go ahead and work it? You know, so of course, anybody that purchases a machine is welcome to come to our factory for training, but also, you just whip out your iPhone and you can get to it any time of day, 24 hours a day. You know, we've got not just a full training section on our website with common questions, how to operate the machine, those types of things. But also, you know, we've got a private Facebook group that's just for guys that own Dustless Blasting machines. And so the biggest question everybody has is, how am I going to price jobs? And so, you know, we're of course able to help, you know, anytime people call, you know, but also guys can snap a picture, post it on the Facebook group, and you know, you're going to have 600 or 700 people that are also contributing, you know, to your success and helping you price some of those random items, because everything in the world is painted, rusty, and dirty.
Right. Well, and that's a good point, because you know, we always talk about automotive applications here at Motorhead Garage for obvious reasons, but the fact of the matter is there is masonry work out there, there's graffiti removal work to be done out there, there's surface preparation that we don't even think about in terms of automobiles that happens all across the world.
Absolutely. You know, so you've got line stripe removal, you know, infrastructure, sure, you know, the simple stuff that makes the world go round, well, it's all painted. And it turns out it's getting older and older. And so, you know, any type of restoration, you know, whether it be an automotive restoration, fleet company, railroads, you know, you name it, everything is constantly being restored, rebuilt, and repurposed.
You know, social media is a big, huge part of the world. You mentioned the private Facebook group that you offer to folks that are purchasing Dustless Blasting units, but there are also a lot of Dustless Blasting customers out there, guys running their own operations, that are using social media with great success. There's a weird before and after satisfaction that comes with people viewing photos of maybe a rusty chassis or anything that's been taken from crummy looking to clean.
Sure. So what I like to tell people is we're able to help them build their future by restoring the past. And that's exactly what, those pictures represent. They're out there making money, getting paid to provide a service, and the customers are overwhelmed by giving them that beautiful new canvas to work with and helping them start all over so they can rebuild and repurpose whatever that project is.
So great. The tools have been proven in the field for years and years. We've been to the factory to actually see them get built, and the fact that you provide all this great stuff after the sale is really what sets Dustless Blasting apart. We've talked about marketing, we've talked about the tools, but there is another element to this. How does somebody go about paying for their business startup?
Sure. So we're able to help people with financing. A lot of people don't know how to go in and approach a bank. And at the same time, we don't have that many people that come in and just pay cash for the equipment either, right? That's a great luxury. So people aren't quite familiar with how to start that business, and by just simply applying on our website, we're able to help them and guide them through the financing process right here in-house.
Not just a tool, it's a business opportunity, it's a career, and it's a way for you to support your family. We're going to be back with more Motorhead Garage presented by Dustless Blasting right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is brought to you by Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977. CIC POWERBOX, electricity, compressed air, and jump start capability wherever you need it. Quick Covers by OAM. There's a new truck in your future and you already own it. And by Dustless Blasting. It's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. The F-250 you're getting a look at here is a heck of a truck. It's got a Power Stroke 6.7 diesel in it, brand new, fully loaded, and it is going to be fully loaded in its future, as the owner is going to use this as kind of a long haul truck pulling big loads long distances. One of the things he wanted to do was upgrade the differential covers front and back on the truck, and that's what we're actually going to do right now. We've taken the front differential cover off. This truck happens to have a Dana 60 front axle, so as you look here, you see the cover for the Dana 60 from the factory, and you see what we're replacing it with, the Mag High-Tech cover. This is a really neat piece. These guys have been in business for 30-something years. They've made like thousands and thousands of these for very satisfied customers. I'm going to show you some of the benefits of it right now. First thing you're going to notice is its increased depth, which means an increased volume of gear oil to keep that ring and pinion happy going down the road. Second thing you'll notice are these cooling fins on top. Now, this being a front differential cover, it's got a lot of air running around it. These cooling fins are going to pull a lot of heat out of the gear oil that's in there, and again, keeping everything nice and cool. These guys have done some thermal testing, and there is multiple dozens of degrees of heat sink being pulled out of the gear oil with this style of cover. The other benefits come in the physical sense here as we turn the cover over. First thing we can see is this great O-ring here, so we don't have to mess with gasket sealer or a paper gasket, anything like that. It's going to seal us up to that differential nicely. We then have the magnetic dipstick, hence the Mag High-Tech name. This magnetic dipstick works almost as a secondary filter. It's going to pull any metallic material away from the ring and pinion, keep the ring and pinion mesh nice, and have no extra friction in there. Other benefits include you get a drain plug down here so you can do your routine maintenance, and again, with that dipstick, you also have a nice fill point. You don't have to pull the cover off to do the routine maintenance, basically, is the trick. John, this is a nice upgrade, very thick flange, very strong piece, and you can lay that baby on there.
Oh yeah, this is a beefy piece. I mean, it's awesome. Look at the actual radius here in the corners, how thick it is. I mean, it's not flexing at all versus the other cover. That's huge.
Yeah, these guys, Mag High-Tech, came into business. They're an aerospace job shop, so they're really high up on their quality control and their materials. That's A356 T6 aluminum.
Yeah, let me walk you through the process. I mean, it's really simple to go ahead and change it out. We took the tire and the tie rod end off. You don't have to do that. It slipped right up in there. Some applications you may. Now what we did is we took it off. We went ahead and got all the bolts out. I popped it off. Gonna have to use a little force. Ford put a lot of glue on that joker to pop it off. We got it off of there. Got it cleaned up real good. Check out inside. It's pretty cool. You actually got your ring gear right there. Your pinion, your spiders are all in there. That's what Brian was talking about. That's the coolest part, is you got this magnet inside of there. Well, you think about that for a minute. This thing, they only separating the pinion from the ring gear is fluid. Once it starts touching, you get metal debris in there. It's natural. That's what happens with a ring and pinion, a differential set. You're going to catch it all right here on this magnet, which is super nice. Got the drain plug right on the bottom, so you can change it. You can do maintenance on it. You don't have to pop it off every single time. Gasket's right here. It's going to stay in place. Reusable one on the top. Incredible. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put it up here and just get it started. I'm going to get a couple bolts in here and get it started, but it's really nice.
They even go the extra mile. They provide you the Allen wrench to get things tight, and the hardware itself is 303 stainless steel. So nothing about this is second class.
Let me tell you something too, man. We got this cover number 7,920. That's pretty cool in itself.
Yeah, everything's serialized, and you talk to the guys at Mag High Tech, and they tell stories of people actually calling the company, telling them that, you know, I have cover 52, and it's been on the front of my truck for, you know, 800 million miles or something like that. Mag High Tech is more than just a differential cover company as well. Really, from front to back on this particular Ford application, they have pretty much any sort of pan or cover you'd want to use.
Now you can see it up here installed, or I'm getting it installed. It's going to snug up the bolts and then go back and tighten them. But that's the cool part. I mean, the fins right here, like you said, you got air passing over it. Once again, it's the nature of the beast. Ring and pinion spinning in there. Any enemy of the fluid is heat, no matter what the system is. And pulling that heat out, that's huge.
Absolutely. The best part about the dipstick is also going to help provide you with a fill level as well. You know, you have 2 notches on the dipstick. They're going to provide you the minimum and maximum fill level. So when you go ahead and get this torque down to the specified 20 to 25 foot-pounds in a hex pattern, you're going to add the fluid from the top of the cover through the dipstick hole, and you're going to check your dipstick to find out that you're at the right level.
Yeah, and that's really nice. I mean, it's right here, so think about how accessible that is. I mean, you screw it out, pop it off, fill it up, bam, you're going to check it just like that. Now, this is cool. You got a reusable O-ring right here. So every time I can come in here and check it, I mean, you know, this thing, what, $4,000 or $5,000 for one of these differentials?
Oh, man.
That's going to save it right there.
Well, this truck's going to be putting a lot of miles on it, highways and byways with loads on these axles. And John, you're going to keep this guy safe and happy with this Mag High Tech differential cover. As John finishes doing that, torquing those bolts down, we'll be back with more Motorhead Garage right after this.
The dustless blasting system uses water mixed with an eco-friendly abrasive to remove even the toughest coatings, like powder coat, undercoat, body filler, and heavy rust.
I don't think there's anything out there on the market that it can't take off.
To learn how dustless blasting can save money in an existing business or to start your own mobile paint stripping business, check out dustlessblasting.com/TV.
We actually strip chrome, which is insane, powder coating, which is also hard to believe. Dustless blasted, went right through it, no problems at all.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Now, muscle cars like this, hugely popular. Even more popular, LS swaps, and with that usually comes a different transmission. Well, problem, shifter doesn't work. Well, we got the solution. I'm here with Herb from ShiftWorks. Now, Herb, you guys got shifters, but you're a lot more than that. I mean, tell me about your company. What do you guys do?
Well, thanks, John. Yeah, well, we do shifter conversions in the early days, and we've been doing this now for over 25 years. So we started out with doing conversions where a swap would go in, maybe turbo 350, turbo 400 in those days. Old Power Glide shifter didn't work. We had parts that would convert the shifter so that it would work with the newer transmission, and that's how we started. And of course, today, more and more, as you said, it's LS swaps, it's overdrives, and now it was 25 years ago. Now these cars are 50 plus years old, and so now not only do maybe the shifter doesn't function like many things as well as it did 25 years ago. They're messed up. They don't look good anymore, and so more and more we're evolving towards new shifters, but still with the original look and feel of the original, but working with the modern transmission.
Now, Herb, my co-host, he could probably tell you every make and model along with the VIN numbers that go with these shifters. Me, not so much. So walk me through each one of these shifters as we go through. Sure. And this is just some of your offerings.
Yeah, that's correct. And these are just a variety of what we find, and our customers really drive the whole product line as they call and they have interest, and then they inspire us to come up with things. So just quickly, this is an old shifter from an early GTO 64, 65, and we now have our own shifter. It's a cable shifter, but it has the same button style and knob, stainless.
So this one will replace this one.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it'll go right in the console, fit in there, comes with a neutral safety backup light switch. Same thing with Corvettes. We have shifters for very early Corvettes. This is the 65-7 Corvette, and you can see here's a factory shifter. The knob's missing, but it's for a Power Glide. That's all they had then. But this is our shifter. It fits exactly in the same spot in the console. It's a direct replacement, but it'll work for a 4L60, 700. We even have them for the 6L
Wow.
90s if they're so.
So if I want to swap, I can do that as well, or I want to keep it factory, I still have the factory look.
Right, right.
Phenomenal.
Right. The same thing again with the early Nova or Impala. These are typically, this was the old Power Glide shifter. It attached to the actual transmission. Well, when you put the new transmission in, you know, they're fatter, they're bigger, it doesn't fit. So this one just works. You just push the ball up and down to unlock it from park.
Yeah, so
Pretty
different
clever.
linkage configurations. You're going to
Exactly.
address that as well. Cool. How about these ones?
Now here we have, you know, the Chevelle's Camaro. And this is a Camaro shifter, in fact. Now, for the 67 Camaro and Firebird, and actually for the 68 to 72 Novas, it was the same shifter. And again, it's a Power Glide shifter usually.
Right.
And this new shifter, this is ours. It's it fits right in the same spot, fits the console, fits the floor.
And you guys are incorporating the electronics into it as well?
That's right. We have the neutral safety backup light switch. And again, for all these cars, we have conversion kits for the older shifters. But we're finding more and more that now, again, these shifters are so old, they just don't function like they used to.
Right.
Or they don't look like this one, doesn't look good anymore.
Exactly. And that's your Camaro?
And then this is the 68 to 9 Camaro shifter. Again, we have it set up for the overdrive. We also have this gate that can be added.
And what is this for?
Well, this is for, it turns it into these horseshoe shifters, all of them, it'll turn it into kind of a ratchet shifter.
Oh, okay.
So you can hit first gear and it'll stop, or first to second. And then second to third, you squeeze, hit the gate on top. And then for fourth, you just push, and again, you don't hit neutral.
Fantastic.
And so
Let's get
it's
to the
for the
cables
weekend
first.
warrior.
1 second on the cables.
Oh,
Here you have
yeah.
also cables.
Gosh, the cables, we have so many calls on cables. And usually it's a guy calling, he says, I put your thing in, I got a new cable, blah,
not
blah,
gonna work.
blah.
Yeah.
Doesn't work, you know.
What
so
amazes me, bend that.
these things, yeah.
Check this out. I mean, that's way past a 90-degree bend. And
Yeah.
it's shifting, no problem. That's awesome, Herb. Herb, I appreciate you bringing this stuff in. I mean, what's your website?
www.shiftworks.com.
Shiftworks.com. Well, they got the whole array of shifters. You can convert, you can go back to original, whatever you want to do. Check them out on the website. But stick around, there's plenty more. Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is brought to you by Stage 8 Fasteners, home of the world's best locking header bolt, now included with each set of Cook's headers. Go to stage8.com. Performance Automatic, custom Ford, GM, and Chrysler transmission packages from street to pro touring. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day on auto parts and accessories. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. When it comes to modern muscle cars, it's all about power. This Challenger has a 392 cubic inch Gen 3 Hemi that shoves it down the road, but that power also falls into other categories as well, like the power necessary to run the various electronic systems in the car. You know, modern cars have more electronic draws and more electronic needs than any cars have had in the history of the automobile, from high performance stereos and amps and all that kind of stuff to the various computers that monitor functions of the car's performance. In terms of this Challenger, ODYSSEY Batteries has come out with a new Performance Series battery that's a direct drop-in for 08 and newer Challengers. The cool thing about these cars is the battery is located down in the trunk on the right rear quarter. It's kind of a throwback to their days of drag racing where you try to move all the weight to the back of the car and plant the tires better. And while the ODYSSEY battery may not be designed to be a traction aid, it is designed to make your car perform better because of its cold cranking amperage. You know, anybody that lives in a cold weather climate needs a battery that's going to be very strong in the CCA or cold cranking amps category for those freezing cold mornings. The factory battery in this car was rated at 730 cold cranking amps. This new ODYSSEY battery's 94R850 model is rated at 850 cold cranking amps. How do they do it? Well, there's a couple of different ways. They use thin pure plate lead technology, which means you have a bunch of really thin lead plates that are spaced very tightly together in the body of the battery. More lead plates means more performance. It also means a slower drain. So this battery is going to be much less apt to completely die if it's in some sort of a situation that it's not being properly charged, as opposed to another style of battery that may not have as many plates, not going to be as high performing as the one you're looking at here. This is also an AGM style battery, meaning it uses absorbed glass mat to contain and kind of hold on to the acid. You can mount this battery on its side and it will be fine. It would perform just the same. It's a sealed style battery, so you don't have to do maintenance to it. You're not going to be adding water or anything like that. And one of the reasons I mentioned that it's kind of designed for the Challenger, some of these batteries today are application specific because of the fact that there are specific areas in the car and venting needs that it needs to conform to. In the case of this battery, Odyssey actually provides a vent plug. So there are two holes that you would use, one here and one here, depending on how you mount the battery in your car. The provided plug here allows you to block off the unused vent hole and continue to use the factory battery venting. You know, ODYSSEYbatteries.com, the website of the company, has a lot of great facets. You can go there and check out the frequently asked questions about battery maintenance, battery best practices. You can also go there and search their various performance lines. You know, Odyssey makes batteries for heavy equipment, for power sports vehicles, for marine applications, and they have a race line of batteries where some of their high performance stuff weighs less than 6 pounds. And if you have a race car, you know how important that weight is. This particular battery carries a limited 3 full-year replacement warranty, and of course, we mentioned earlier, it is a sealed battery and it's maintenance free. You can go to ODYSSEYbatteries.com to learn more, not only about this specific battery, but what battery may be right for your replacement needs. If you have a Challenger that's from 2008 and newer, those 08 cars are now 10 years into their factory batteries. And if you're in a climate that isn't warm and sunny like San Diego every day, you're probably getting to the end life of the original factory equipment battery if you haven't replaced it already. For my money, I want to go for an application-specific unit that's been designed to provide the right power I need for my modern muscle car. The 392 cubic inch Hemi in the front of this Challenger moves it down the road, but without the 850 cold cranking amp power of the Odyssey Performance battery, it would never get out of the driveway in the wintertime. Remember, go to ODYSSEYbattery.com to learn more, check out all their product lines, and it's not just cars, trucks, heavy equipment, ATVs, power sports vehicles, and yes, even racing applications. I'm going to drop this battery in the trunk of the Challenger, go out and do some burnouts and enjoy the afternoon. We'll be back with more Motorhead Garage next week. And if you have a cool product that you want to see here in the Motorhead Garage shop, email Jeff at masterstv.com. Maybe we'll see you soon right here at the shop.